Why do you support Donald Trump?
All right, I do support Donald Trump. I will say that. I think Donald Trump's the best candidate we've had. But I'll also say this. I'm definitely much more of an advocate for just the conservative viewpoint instead of the Democratic viewpoint. But I'll say this. The reason I guess I would say I support Donald Trump is because I agree economically. I think he's better than Kamala, whatever her name is. Um, I think he has produced more jobs than the Biden administration. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, and I just downright think I think he's more of a stern person with oversee affairs. And I think I kind of just respect him more than Harris and Biden, because I'll say this is nitpicking, but just Biden, I think he's kind of older, which whatever. And Harris, just I think she kind of is an actor, where she will like change her code switching in a sense, but
Code switching
where
doesn't make
she'll
her an actor. That's a ridiculous
not
statement to make. Secondly,
sorry, but like sorry, I don't mean to be offensive, but like have you seen like where she changes her accent and she just
yeah,
acts
that
very
doesn't
different?
make her an actor.
I think it's weird, and I would like someone to be themselves no matter what. So
Yeah, so because people experience racism, they engage in code switching, isn't a reason for you to say that they're like an actor or they're like disingenuous. That's actually like really up, to be honest, because like genuinely, like she experiences racism in the society. It's an adaptability to the fact that society and like right that she experiences racism in society. So she's trying not to experience racism, and that's literally all it was. Um, so that's not being an actor. Secondly, like there's a few things. You said that the economy is better off under a Trump administration and that he produced more jobs. Well, since Trump's got in office, we've actually seen a decline in the increase of the level of jobs that exists. And it was actually so bad that Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because he claimed politically biased information because it was so bad. And then he literally put someone new into that particular position, and they indicated even less jobs for the next month. So we're actually around 7 to 10 times less new jobs per month is what we were under the Biden-Harris administration. So the idea that we're actually like getting more jobs right now is ridiculous, especially when we've seen unemployment increase since Trump's got in office.
well, I'll say this way. So you said that it was being like documented poorly, so that's why he fired the guy. Maybe I misheard you. Like
Well,
the he fired the head of the whatever bureau
that
because it was being
he fired the head because he claimed that it was politically biased information because he thought it was so bad. The new jobs report,
okay.
and he
Um,
put someone else in that position, and they indicated even less jobs for the next month. So
so Wouldn't that be just like good in the
evidence that they
sense that
weren't
he's
politically
trying to?
biased. No, it's evidence that they weren't
No, well,
politically
like
biased. The person that they fired was actually someone that released a jobs revision of 818,000 jobs under the Biden-Harris administration 3 weeks after Harris launched her campaign. So if they're politically biased to support Democrats, why did they release that revision?
great point. Couldn't tell you. But also, here's about this. When you're cleaning stuff up, right? You're cleaning your room. Sometimes it's got to get messier for it to get better, right? He hasn't been in office for too long, and I believe that, um,
When I'm cleaning my
maybe he's
room, it would get better if it gets cleaner. I don't know what you mean. It has to get messier in order to get cleaner. I'm really confused what you mean by that.
really you never like cleaned your room, and within the first 5 minutes, you're getting everything. It gets dirtier, and then after another 20 minutes, it gets cleaner. Never experienced that.
I mean, I get the point that you're trying to make. Is it's not dirtier though. It's just you moved it to different areas in the room so that you could reorganize.
Yeah, but maybe stuff's in the closet. You bring it out to light. You know what I'm saying?
That's not necessarily
But
make
whatever.
anything dirtier. I'm confused what you mean, but
Well, I don't know, just things that you maybe didn't see. Whatever. This is a meaningless point, but basically, my viewpoint on this, right? Because you debate people. What's your goal with debating, right? To spread light and to like inform people on like better on what party's better, what candidate's better. Just to inform, I would assume.
inform people, get them to critically think and engage with the other side. Give people who are on my side better arguments as well. That's also like important.
All right. So since I this is what I feel.
So
I've been
education.
watching you, right?
education, right? That's your goal here. I don't think necessarily, in my opinion, right? Because you're debating people who are very less knowledgeable on Trump, right? And they're just saying stupid things about Trump, and they have no idea what they're talking about. So I think it'd be beneficial because I honestly don't know if I think Trump is not the best Republican conservative candidate. So, but I do 100% agree with, or not 100%, but I largely agree with conservative viewpoints. So I would like you to like kind of just maybe explain the difference in the parties and why someone should, like me, could convert to the Democratic viewpoint. Why should one want what the Democratic Party wants?
Yeah, because Donald Trump is advocating to increase taxes on working class Americans and decrease taxes on the very rich, whereas Democrats are advocating to decrease taxes on the working class and increase taxes on the rich to compensate for that and to be fiscally responsible to a greater extent. Democrats acknowledge science. They acknowledge that climate change is real and that it's something that we need to address. They don't undermine and defund the EPA, which has incredible benefits for our society because the imposition of certain environmental regulations leads to a healthier society, which saves us money in the long run, right? It is also the case that Donald Trump is advocating for policies in which literally through tariffs increase the prices of consumer goods for Americans and cause there to be a regressive negative impact on low and middle income individuals. So it's shifting the burden of taxation from an income taxation, which is progressive, to a regressive tariff that has a negative impact on low and middle income individuals and shifts the burden of taxation from higher income individuals disproportionately to lower income individuals to a greater extent.
All right, wonderful. Um, all right, maybe dumb it down for me, Parker. You're a pretty smart guy, but I'll say this. I just want to. I'll just say this. What do you think? This is my viewpoints. This is what I find important, right? I want to be an entrepreneur, right? But maybe you don't want to do this, so you could kick me if you want. Maybe you want to just debate like Trump supporters, but I kind of want you to try and maybe convince me on why maybe people in the live will agree with what I'm saying, with the right side, right? I want to be an entrepreneur, right? And I believe that free market is um, improved and maybe more important to the right. So I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to get into real estate and real estate investing. So that's one reason.
Countries
I'm
around the
also a
world that
Christian.
have broader social safety nets have actually freer markets than we have in the United States. Look up the Economic Freedom Index, and you can look at countries around the world that have broader social safety nets. They actually do have freer markets because the fact that they have social safety nets allows for them to free up markets to a greater extent,
What social safety nets?
like providing access to healthcare, childcare, housing affordability to a greater extent, right? Like paid
Like,
vacation
would
leave,
Canada fall
maternity
under
leave,
this?
paternity leave. I mean, well, Canada, I don't know. I haven't looked at their economic freedom index. I can check that. I think it's slightly better than the U.S. or slightly more free. But if we look at like I'm saying specifically like Finland, Sweden, Norway, like countries like that, they
Oh,
have
I'll
freer
also say
markets
this.
than the United States.
This is just like a little tangent, but what do you think? You know, Switzerland, like we're a representative democracy and they're just a democracy. What do you think about that? Like, I think that is a great idea in my opinion. Where basically once a month or whatever it happens, they just go on their
They're
phone,
representative
have to use their
democracy.
ID.
They're not just a direct democracy.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know where you got that.
Okay. The woman I met from Switzerland lied to me, but whatever. Um. Okay. Also, I'm a Christian man, so free market's my
Yeah,
first thing, which
Canada has
maybe
a
you
freer
disagree with.
market than the United States, according to the what's it called, the Economic Freedom Index.
How does it say where the U.S. is? Like, are they like 23rd or like 17 or like
Yeah,
5 or
1,
what?
2, 3, 4, 5, 26, 27. Seems like 27.
27. All right, but also with healthcare, right? Like Canada. I mean, I know people from Canada, and this isn't like research based. This is just from my personal perspective. That a lot of them say yes, free healthcare, it's nice, but it is not nearly as time efficient. I'd say they have to wait much longer, and
So why would you
there
have
are
to wait
times where
longer?
just
Because
the
there's more
quality.
people. Because there's more people that get access to care. And you're only
Sorry.
talking about waiting longer, not for like necessary, but for specifically like non like for elective non-emergency situations. In the context of any emergency room, you do that. Okay, that's just the reality of how healthcare operates. Have you ever been to the emergency room?
I have a
Okay,
couple times.
and they judge on severity, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I understand not knowing this because I mean I didn't know this prior. I didn't even think about it, right? It's based on severity. So like if it is the case that you aren't very severe, right, and they can deal with it later, they're going to deal with people specifically that are in more severe situations first, and then they'll deal with you. That's how it works.
No, yeah, I do get that. Well, yeah, I don't know. I have friends in Canada who
Like,
just say
do you think
like,
the emergency room, if like a billionaire walks in, they should take the money over specifically like the person who's on the operating table?
I
No, they would
mean,
they would deal with the person who's on the operating table over the person that's coming in for like an elective thing or something that's not immediate or urgent,
for sure. No, yeah,
right? Just because
I
they
agree
gave
with that.
money,
If the
right?
guy is,
So
yeah,
ability to
I
pay
agree.
should
If the guy
not
is like a
mean that they
smart.
go and get access to emergency care first.
Okay.
I agree, not with emergency care, but just in general, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like in Canada, I don't know, but in Canada, say like, is it all just free healthcare no matter what? Like, if you get heart surgery, are they paying for that, or is it just like the ER and it's just like small things?
No, they have universalized healthcare.
So, but that's the thing. Like, say there's a billionaire, and there's someone who has
Yeah,
right $100,000 to spend
if a
on.
billionaire goes into the doctors, all free at the point of service. If someone who makes $10,000 a year goes into there, free at the point of service.
But wouldn't the service be, um, in Canada? Wouldn't the service just be worse? Like, wouldn't that just make sense? Like, kind of common sense in the sense where
It's not
basically the
like
height
for
of.
example, like if you're thinking like plastic surgery, is all plastic surgery covered? No.
No, I'm not saying plastic surgery, but like I'm saying heart surgery, like brain surgery, something very important.
Yeah,
Like
like
if
if
you're in
you
Canada, say you're a wealthy person, like you probably wouldn't want to be in Canada if you have the enough money to spend to go somewhere better, right? You'd probably be like, let me go to the United States
well,
and.
if you want to do that, go for it. You have that's something that you like. We leave open for people if they want to get access to, pay as much as they want, they can do that. But if they want to get access to the public option, they can, right? They can. There are private options as well, but the public option should be sufficient to take care of everyone.
But wouldn't the base care, wouldn't that just go down
What do you mean?
because it's free in a sense? Like you have to pay here, so the care has to be to a certain.
You can put a due standard of care from a
Spend their
federal
hard-earned money,
government.
but
You
in
can you
Canada, it could
there's
be
due
they could have it.
Think about it this way. There's due standard of care, right? Like think about it. Like when we did a government funded public schools, did that decrease the value of public schools or decrease the value of schools? No,
No clue, probably.
no, because you can have a due standard of care for teachers.
Gotcha. Wait, can I also say this? You know the guy. Okay, well, great point by you. But you're about public schools, and you're talking about Trump's thing about lunch, taking away lunch. I will say this. I don't know how that bill was written, and you said that was very stupid. I'll just say this from my personal experience. My family, I'm 18, right? So I was in high school a few years ago. I remember when they made it um, allowed for us to have free food. I lived in Minnesota or live in Minnesota, right? So and it was a nice part of Minnesota. So like 95% of that 90% of that school did not need free food. Like we were all just like super confused because we were like, what the heck? This is kind of a waste of taxpayers' money. But I do agree that the 10% did need that. So how is the bill was the bill written just like what? They're just gonna screw everyone over, or are they gonna like look more in depth to parents'
It cuts
economic.
420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast. So
I
these are
mean, that's the
children
thing
that
though.
do
Like,
need
how,
it right now. These aren't just like
you
everyone's getting it. Not all kids get free school lunches.
okay. Also, well, that my point was free market, right? That's my one point.
No,
So
if you want it to be
you say
free
that.
market, then you think children should starve because we shouldn't provide any types of food
No, I'm
benefits
not
for
saying
them.
I was. No, I was just saying
If they
that
can't
that
afford
was
it, they
my.
don't get access to it in a free market. So you'd let the
Someone just said
child
or
starve
no.
because they can't afford it.
Um, no, but well, okay. I was on free food, and my family was doing just fine. So like, Couldn't you
Then
see that some people are
that's a state
getting
policy.
cut off?
That's a state policy.
Okay. Well, I'll just say first point. My first point was free market, which you seem to have disproved, but we'll see. I need to do some more research on that. My second viewpoint on the right side is I'm a Christian, and I don't agree with abortion as a contraceptive, or like not a contraceptive, but like for birth control.
Okay, no one's using abortion as birth control because that would be extremely expensive. Like, do you think the average
But you get
American
what I'm saying,
can afford abortion as birth control?
No, well, I'm just saying, like, just because you don't want the baby doesn't mean you should necessarily kill the baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, in a sense, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
not.
Like the
It's
life
not
of
a
the mother,
baby. It's not a baby.
it's a baby that hasn't been born yet.
No, no, no. Like a. Do you think a fertilized egg at conception is a baby?
Uh, it's a baby that's gonna come in 9 months.
So you think a fertilized egg at conception is a baby, and it's a single cell organism. You think a baby can be a single cell organism?
Uh, I don't know. I don't think I will.
You don't
I'll say this.
know? Okay.
What can I say this?
Ant
I don't
baby.
think
Ant baby. They
changing-
thought it was Ant Man. It's actually Ant baby. Okay.
I don't think changing its name does anything. Like, just because you make it less humane and less human, it doesn't gonna like. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing to do. Just be like, oh, we're gonna change its name so it's less of a human. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm sorry. No,
that just it's
the
a
fertilized egg at conception is literally not a person. You cannot. You don't think that's actually a person. If I slapped a zygote on the live right now
okay, mate.
for TikTok and YouTube content, do you think I should go to prison?
Wait, what'd you say?
If I had a petri dish with a zygote, my own zygote that I made, I slapped it out of it for TikTok and YouTube content. All right, should I go to prison because I'm a zygote slayer?
I mean, like, I guess not. So maybe it's okay. Maybe you're right.
No,
It's not
so
a
it's,
human.
so it's not.
I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. It's a
Maybe
tough.
it is.
Okay,
So,
let's be
I
honest.
should go to prison for being a zygote slayer? For slapping zygotes? Your Honor, he actually went on his social media live stream on TikTok and YouTube, and he decided to slap the out of a single cell organism. Put this man behind bars. Put him for crimes against humanity, slaughtering said zygotes.
What do you think the public reaction to that would be if you did that? Just out of curiosity, man. This is.
What do I think of public reaction? I think that would be. I think a lot of people would think it's funny, and then
isn't that kind of?
I bet a lot of people would be pissed off, but it would be.
No, but yeah,
that'd be great rage bait.
Isn't that kind of crazy that people find joy in that? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that kind of
I would find so much joy in that.
That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, no? Why would you want to do that?
Why would I? Because it's funny.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it would be hilarious. Could you imagine you imagine all the people joining up on my live stream after the controversy went crazy, and they think I'm a, and then you have all the people joining. Parker, you zygote! You should be in prison. You should be in prison. You just justified and a human being. Can you imagine all the people coming up on my live stream?
I mean, yeah, kind of rightfully so. I think that's just a messed up thing to. That's a messed up thing to do. No.
No, I think it's totally reasonable.
Really?
Yeah, slapping zygotes is a hobby.
Okay. Well, this is a weird. Let's teeter off to a different conversation here. What can I say? This. I always thought this, and maybe I'm wrong.
You agree with me that I shouldn't be sent to prison for slapping zygotes? That's just my thing.
Okay, maybe yes, I guess. Yes.
So I wouldn't go to prison, so it's not right.
No, I'm saying you should go to prison.
I should go to prison, really?
Yes.
But Parkergetajob, put him behind bars for slaughtering zygotes, everybody.
Can I say this?
Oh my God, he was slapping zygotes like no one's ever seen before. Your Honor, put him behind the bars. He's a threat to our communities. Parker, the zygote slayer, is such a threat. Put him in. Put him in. High security.
But why do you So why do you call it a zygote though? Why? Okay, I'll say this. Why does the left commonly just would never call it a like. They try to make a fetus or like whatever. They call it anything but like a preborn baby. It's anything but a human. You make it very inhumane, like very like a nothing close to a human. Like a dog is more human than like a 40-week-old baby. To I feel like a lot of Democrats like is more. You know what I'm saying? Why is that a common thing in the
That's a
Democratic Party?
that's a ridiculous thing to say. I don't know what you're talking about. And by the way, late
What do you
stage
mean?
pregnancy is treated no differently under the law under a Republican administration and a Democratic administration. Because under Republicans, specifically like Donald Trump, he's leaving it up to the states after viability, and so are Democrats. Donald Trump just wants to leave it up to the states prior to viability as well.
So wait, maybe I misheard you. The connection kind of spotty.
Yeah,
But you're saying that both
after
Democratic.
viability, if Roe versus Wade is in place, it's still left up to the states to determine whether or not it's illegal after viability.
So when do you think abortion should be illegal? Like your personal opinion. Do you ever think it should be illegal? Like,
I think that abortion is wrong after the point of sentience, which is 20 through 24 weeks. So, like, in elective circumstances after 20 through 24 weeks, it would be wrong, but no one's deciding to have elective abortions after that point. After that point, it's like medical abortions that people need to survive, which they should have access to.